What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nelson. I am a filmmaker photographer, and if this is your first time here, welcome. And today we got a good video. Now, this ain't gonna be a super in-depth video. I wanted to talk about film cameras. I recently purchased an enlarger and some film cameras from a person on Marketplace. This is gonna be kind of a split video. This is gonna be for those who dug deep in their basement and found their grandpa's cameras, as well as people looking to get into film and so forth. So I'm gonna begin with if you found cameras in your grandpa's basement or attic. So here's the thing, guys. Like many things, things come back into popularity. Film camera died for so long when digital started, and like mostly everything else, it comes back and goes, comes back and goes. And I think a lot of the time when people find cameras in like their grandparents' basement or their attic, they think they got gold.
I love gold!
And I'm here to tell you, you don't.
Damn!
I want to explain this further because two things happen. You buy a film camera, it works perfectly fine, or you buy a camera and it sits on your shelf as decoration. And those are primarily the two things that generally happen when someone goes to buy a film camera. I myself have tons and tons of cameras that just sit as decoration, as well as I have tons and tons of cameras that I actively shoot to this day. I'm trying to find the best way to separate this into little categories and make this easier for you guys to find in chapters. So in front of me, I have 3 cameras. They're really nothing special. They're kind of standard cameras you could find, quite frankly, anywhere on Marketplace. You see these all the time. And the one in the center here is more of a newer, like electronic style camera versus, you know, your old wind up cameras. So here's the thing. A lot of people that sell cameras, they've never tested the cameras. They don't know how cameras operate or function because they're not photographers themselves, but they want top dollar because they see what a camera is selling for. I have this conversation with my dad all the time. Someone has something listed for X amount of dollars. Like I tell my dad, that's the money they're looking to get, but that's not what it's gonna sell for. And that's something you gotta keep in mind. There's gonna be a dollar value that you wanna get from the camera based off what you see people listing their stuff for versus the value of the actual camera and the market dictating what they wanna buy, right? Because there gotta be a demand for what they wanna buy. And I will say on average, most general film cameras that you buy are gonna be in the $50 to $75 range. Now, there are quite a bit of cameras that have way more value, and those are a little harder to find. They're rare, or they're just like top of the line for its generation. So meaning whatever year it's from, whether it's 80s, 70s, 60s, and so on. So be prepared not to get $500 for like your basic Canon AE1. Those things I used to buy for $50 with lens all day long. At most, I would spend $75. On rare occasions, I would go up to $100, but it really depends on the condition, the quality, and so forth. If you're someone that doesn't know about cameras, you don't shoot the cameras, you've never loaded a roll and developed a roll, there's good chances you don't know the state of that camera. It may not work. So asking $500 because you see someone listing theirs on Marketplace for that price, you might not get that, right? You're probably not gonna get what you're looking for. And I think it's key to learn how to identify a working camera from a broken camera. And if I find a camera that I know doesn't work, the most I'm willing to spend for that is $5 because I'm gonna buy it and it's gonna sit on my shelf and just be decoration. You're probably like, oh, well, you could sell it for parts. The amount of people that actually fix cameras these days, I don't know if there's a lot of people out there. It's very tedious, and finding parts can be quite a challenge. You're gonna have to buy broken cameras and kind of, you know, mechanic it together. So I think you should start by learning the elements that make up the camera and learning the mechanics of how the camera works. Is the shutter stuck? Do you know what the shutter is? Do you know what the shutter curtains are? And I'm not gonna go into super depth because that could be a whole nother video itself. But I'm just kind of making this video just kind of get you aware of what's out there, because again, the lady was asking for like crazy amounts of money and the cameras were in bad condition. I will say right off the rip, first things I think you should check for is one, fungus in the glass. Lenses sit there and they're not temperature controlled in your basement or attic. They get fungus. Corrosion is a big thing that happens with film cameras. A stuck mirror or a frozen shutter, that's things. And one that you can't really see just by looking at it, but light leaks. You could essentially put a whole roll of film in it and your whole roll of film is no good because light is leaking around inside the body of the camera. And again, I'm not gonna really go into those topics. Maybe I'll put like some good other videos I find from other creators that kind of deep dive into it. Another thing you're gonna find too is corrosion where the battery is. Can you get a battery for that specific cameras? Some of them have electronic exposure meters, but the batteries may not be readily available, or there's something where you got a specialty order from eBay or something like that. So those are key things to kind of look for when not only are you selling, but you're buying.